Good morning, everyone, and Chag Sameach. Tonight we begin Shmini Atzeret, and tomorrow night, Thursday night, everyone's invited to Palm Beach Synagogue as we celebrate the most joyous day on the calendar, Simchat Torah. And this year is the first anniversary of October 7th, which occurred in Israel on Simchat Torah. And many people are asking, how can we dance when it's the anniversary of the date that we experienced the worst atrocity since the Holocaust? A number of years ago, the Dalai Lama sent a message to Elie Wiesel, and he said, I want to ask you, how is it that the Jewish people have endured and survived for 2,000 years in exile? Me and my people have been exiled from our homeland, and we want to know the secret of the Jewish people. And I believe one of the answers, if not the answer to how we survive, is two words in the Torah. At the end of Moses' life, which we're going to read about on the morning of Simchat Torah as we conclude the Torah, he says to the Jewish people, I've placed before you a blessing and a curse, life and death. And then he says, Ubacharta b'chayim, you shall choose life. And the question is, who would choose death over life? Isn't it obvious that we're going to choose life? And perhaps the answer is that what Moses was saying was not you should choose life over death, but rather, Ubacharta b'chayim, you should choose life in the face of death. And this has been the secret of the Jewish people. For 2,000 years, we've experienced exile, expulsions, persecution, oppression, inquisitions and intifadas, Holocaust, pogroms, inquisitions. But in the face of death, we said what we're going to say in the Hallel this morning, and we say every day of the holiday, Lo amut ki echya, I will not die, but I will live, as King David says. V'asaper masayah, I will declare the greatness of God. 3 years after the Holocaust, 6 million of our brothers and sisters, sons and daughters were murdered. We went back to Israel. We said, in the face of death, we choose life. And that's what we witnessed this year. October 7th, we witnessed the worst evil. The brutal murder of innocent men, women, and children, Holocaust survivors, pregnant mothers, babies, burnt alive. And in the face of that evil and death, the Jewish people stood up and said 3 words, Am Yisrael Chai. As an anthem and as a prayer, we will live. We choose life in the face of death. And that's why tomorrow night at Palm Beach Synagogue, we invited 5 Nova survivors who ran for 12 hours from bullets and terror and survived. And what are they saying? Ubacharta b'chayim, we choose life in the face of death. And one of the couples that are here to dance with us got engaged this year after October 7th, once again saying, Ubacharta b'chayim, we choose love and life in the face of death. One of the remarkable stories that just occurred in Israel was there's a woman by the name of Daron Katz. On October 7th, she and her 2 children, Raz, 4 years old, and Aviv, 2 years old, were taken hostage into Gaza. And they spent 49 days, mother and a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, in captivity. And they were released, and Israel freed them in a deal 49 days after they were abducted. They spent 49 days in captivity. Just 2 weeks ago, Daron Katz posted a picture of she and her husband and her 4-year-old Raz and 2-year-old Aviv with her pregnant belly. And she said, I'm delighted to announce that I'm pregnant, and my husband and I are expecting our 3rd child. And she said, having experienced the worst evil and nearly losing my life, facing death, to be able to bring life into the world now, literally almost 9 months after she was freed from captivity, she said that is the greatest blessing, to bring life in this world after experiencing so much death. And her own brother and mother were murdered on October 7th. And a number of other friends and family from Kibbutz Nir Oz are still in captivity. But she said the following words. She said, giving birth to a baby, despite all the evil, is my ray of sunshine in the midst of all the darkness. When we come to shul tomorrow night, let us remember the two words that Moses taught us 3,300 years ago. U'bacharta b'chaim. As a Jewish people, we always choose life in the face of death. That is our sunshine in the darkness. And yes, as we've been saying every day, and we've been seeing every day in Israel and around the world, the Jewish people declare, in word and in action, Am Yisrael Chai. Join us and let us dance, not for the past, but for the bright future of the Jewish people. Chag Sameach.